Welcome back to This Week at St. Jude from WBLZ The Blaze at St. Jude Catholic Church. I'm Darrell Wilson, your host. This is now the third week of Advent, Gaudete Sunday, when we light the rose candle of our Advent wreath. Gaudete means rejoice. We rejoice because the Lord's coming is near. Father Hennehan was our celebrant this weekend at the 9:30 live stream Mass. Here is part of his Gaudete Sunday homily.
See, when you're joyful, you bring that, right? It overflows. And that overflow is recognizing that God is with me. And when God is with me, I now have something that everybody wants. Joy is the most attractive thing in other people. When you see somebody who's truly joyful, you're like, man, I really want that. And at the heart of what the Christian is to be, they are to have that peace and joy because they know that God is with me. We celebrate, Advent, and what do we say? Emmanuel, God with us. And as much as I say all that, as much as I remind you that we are to have that joy and that presence of God, we know the struggle. And the struggle, of course, is that sometimes we put ourselves at the center, right? And so instead of relying upon our God, we rely upon ourselves. And by the way, here's what it looks like when we put ourselves at the center. Self-pity, worry, complaining, figuring if we can get everything taken care of out here, then it'll be good. And of course, this is what we can become. And by the way, when we put ourselves at the center, we're everything but joyful. Self-pity. If everybody just listened to me, I am working harder than anybody. Nobody does anything like I do. It's not what God wants. And by the way, you see that even when you say self-pity. This self is in the center. And we know, even when you look at complaining or, worry. Worry stems from the fact that I don't recognize God is with me. And right now I'm thinking how are we going to make it? And how it's all going to work? Trying to get everything figured out. That's when I'll be able to have joy. So right now it's COVID, but post-COVID, I'll be joyful again. That's when I look forward to. A few years back, Cubs won the World Series. That was a great year. We may not have joy again, by the way. No, I'm just kidding. Because our joy can't stem from this. Our joy stems from Him. Our connection to Him. This is our peace and our joy. This is what we have to get into that place. And of course, this is the real understanding for us. And hopefully you realize that litmus test. When you find yourself worrying more, when you find yourself not at peace, when you find yourself, playing the martyr, which we all do. We can complain. I can do all these things. What it tells me is I need Him. I got to put Him more in my life. You want more joy? You need to just be with Him. The most joyful people know that God is with them. The most joyful people know, hey, listen, I don't know how it's all going to work, but I know that He's with me and I'm with Him and I can trust Him. Even every time you come to Mass and you receive the Eucharist and literally God is with you, that you just rest, that you just pray, that you just say, listen, I know I got some issues, but if you're with me, we're good. You take that time. You trust in Him. And then you radiate. And you don't radiate because you're at the center. You radiate because He is at the center. That the great I Am wants to come. He wants to come to you and to me. But that happens when we realize, I am not.
If you've been working this Advent to prepare the way for Jesus to come to you this Christmas, you're in luck. Father Hennehan and Father O'Brien have announced an extended confession schedule for next week, beginning with our parish Advent parking lot penance service, December 20th at 3 p.m. Then they will also hear confessions Monday, December 21st, Tuesday, December 22nd, and Wednesday, December 23rd, from 5 to 6 p.m. The teachers at St. Jude Catholic School have been very busy working with students remotely for the last few weeks. Please keep our teachers, parents, and students in your prayers while they adapt to the many challenges to learning during this COVID pandemic. The St. Jude Parish Council has also been very busy working to keep us connected and supported.
My name is Pete Targos. I'm the current president of your parish council, and I'm here to talk to you about our latest endeavor here at the parish. It all came about this summer when we were brainstorming with Father Hanahan and Father O'Brien about what we could do different, because Father expressed that he misses our parish, and due to the lockdown and the pandemic, he hasn't been able to interact as much with everyone, and he'd really love to interact with everyone as much as possible. So we brainstormed, we came up with an idea of how to interact and touch base with all of our parishioners. And although we have 1,400 of them, it was going to be a challenge. So we relied on extending out to other parishioners, of which we were able to get an additional 50 other people, as well as the 8th grade class, for confirmation to call out to our parishioners and touch base with them and see how the spiritual connection that they had with our parish was continuing, and is there anything we could do to help. And I tell you, it's been a lot of fun. We've gotten to know more parishioners than ever and learned a lot of things that we maybe hadn't known. For instance, some of the connections and people that we've lost touch with over time. We hope that we continue this effort, and if you have not been contacted, we hope that you do. It may be because we don't have accurate information with the parish, so I would recommend you touch base with Donna, and want to thank you very much, and hope that you've also felt a positive interaction during this time as well that we've done this program. Thank you.
That's it for this week at St. Jude. Until next week, stay holy, St. Jude.